150 sailors live inside this nuclear submarine for 90 days straight. No sunlight, no privacy, no escape. The bunks are so cramped, 3 people share a space the size of a walk-in closet. But here's what most people don't know. For the women serving on these subs, the hardest part isn't the cramped quarters or the lack of privacy. It's navigating an environment that was engineered for men, where even basic things like showering, sleeping, and eating require a completely different survival strategy. This is the hidden reality of life as a female submariner. Chapter 1. Eating in a metal tube. Submariners eat 4 meals a day, not 3, 4. The reason? The crew operates on 18-hour watch cycles, 6 hours on, 12 hours off, which means someone is always working, always sleeping, and always eating. But here's where it gets interesting. The mess space seats only 24 people. That's 24 seats for a crew of 140 to 155 sailors. So meals happen in rotating shifts, timed down to the minute. You eat when your watch schedule says you eat, not when you're hungry. For female submariners, meals become more than just food. They're a psychological anchor. Women submariners report that variety and quality matter more to them than their male counterparts. When you're trapped underwater for 3 months, a good meal isn't just nutrition, it's morale. The first 2 weeks, fresh food, eggs, milk, vegetables, fruit. But after that, everything comes from cans, boxes, and freezers crammed into every spare corner of the boat. Submarine kitchens, called galleys, are engineered for extreme efficiency. The cooks aren't trained chefs. They're culinary specialists who went through a crash course and now feed 150 people in a space smaller than your kitchen, and everyone eats the same menu. Officers, enlisted, men, women, no exceptions. But there's one thing that keeps morale alive: ice cream. Submariners have access to soft-serve ice cream 24/7. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. When you're living in a steel tube with recycled air and no windows, ice cream is therapy, but eating is the easy part. The real challenge? Where you sleep. Chapter 2. Sleeping in a coffin. Submariners sleep in bunks that are literally compared to coffins. 6 feet long, 2 feet wide, maybe 2 feet of headspace, no windows, no natural light, just the constant hum of machinery and the smell of recycled air. But here's the thing. Privacy doesn't exist. When women first joined submarine crews in 2010, the Navy had to retrofit boats that were never designed for mixed-gender crews. The solution? Gender-neutral bathroom stalls, curtains on bunks, and strict scheduling protocols for showers and changing areas. But physical privacy is only part of the problem. The real challenge is psychological privacy. Sound travels. Walls are thin. Everyone hears everything. Female submariners develop what they call mental curtains, psychological strategies to create privacy where none exists. One female officer described it like this: you learn to turn off the part of your brain that needs personal space. You create an invisible bubble around yourself even when you're surrounded by 150 men. Sleep is disrupted constantly. The 18-hour watch cycle means your body never fully adjusts. You sleep when you can, in short bursts, often interrupted by drills, alarms, or operational needs. And here's something most people don't know: submariners practice hot racking. That means multiple sailors share the same bunk in rotating shifts. When one person gets up for their watch, another person climbs into the still warm bed. For women, this adds another layer of complexity, coordinating sleep schedules with male crew members while maintaining boundaries and respect. But the Navy has adapted. Modern submarines feature improved privacy solutions, better curtains, partitions, and designated changing areas. Still, the reality is this: dignity is protected through mutual respect and discipline, not through physical space. And if sleeping is hard, hygiene is even harder. Chapter 3. Hygiene in hell. Submarine toilets use vacuum flush systems. They're loud, they're complicated, and if you don't follow the procedure exactly, you can flood the entire bathroom. But toilets are the least of your concerns. The real challenge? Showers. Water is rationed, strictly. Submarines make their own fresh water by desalinating seawater, but the process is energy intensive, so showers follow a strict protocol: water on, wet down, water off, soap up, water on, quick rinse, done. You get maybe 2 minutes of water total. For female submariners, this creates unique challenges. Hair care, menstrual hygiene, and basic grooming require creativity and planning. Women submariners use shower signs, literal signs they hang outside the bathroom, to signal when they're using the space. It's a simple system, but it works. Communication and scheduling are everything. And here's something the Navy doesn't advertise: menstrual products. Female submariners have to plan for 3 months of supplies in a space where storage is already maxed out. The Navy provides what's needed, but women often bring their own preferred products because comfort matters when you're living in impossible conditions. Dress codes are strict. Modest attire at all times, no exceptions. Officers and enlisted women women share spaces with men, but regulations and schedules minimize stress. The key is respect, enforced by command and practiced by the crew. But the physical challenges are nothing compared to the psychological ones. Chapter 4. The Mental Battle. The Navy screens submariners harder than any other service branch. Psychological evaluations, stress tests, interviews. Because the real enemy underwater isn't equipment failure, it's your own mind. Submariners experience complete sensory deprivation, no sunlight, no fresh air, no horizon, no sense of time. Your circadian rhythm collapses, your sense of space warps, days blur together. And for women, there's an added layer. Isolation within isolation. You're one of maybe 5 to 10 women on a crew of 150 men. Female submariners form informal mentoring networks, support systems that help them adapt and survive. They share strategies, offer advice, and provide emotional support in an environment that demands mental toughness from everyone. Here's what's surprising. Female retention rates on submarines are actually higher than men. Women report successful adaptation and mental strength. They develop stress reduction strategies, reading, writing, quiet conversation, and maintaining home connections when possible. But the Navy also provides psychological support. Submariners have access to confidential counseling, and commanders are trained to watch for signs of stress, because in a submarine, one person's breakdown can affect the entire crew. So how do they survive? Chapter 5. Survival Strategies. Survival on a submarine isn't about individual toughness. It's about teamwork. Every sailor depends on every other sailor. Your life is in their hands, and their life is in yours. For female submariners, this creates a unique dynamic. They're not just proving they can do the job, they're proving they can be trusted in life or death situations. And they do. Female submariners report that respect is earned through competence, not gender. When you're 1,000 feet underwater and something goes wrong, no one cares if you're male or female. They care if you know your job. The Navy has also implemented strict anti-harassment policies, zero tolerance, immediate consequences, because on a submarine there's no room for conflict. Discipline and professionalism aren't optional, they're survival requirements. Women submariners also develop what they call quiet routines, small rituals that help maintain sanity. A specific coffee mug, a favorite book, a photo from home. These tiny anchors of normalcy become lifelines in an environment that strips away everything familiar. And when the mission is finally over. Chapter 6. Surfacing. After 90 days underwater, the submarine finally surfaces. Sailors step onto the deck and see the sun for the first time in 3 months. The light is blinding. The air tastes different. The horizon stretches endlessly in every direction. For female submariners, it's not just relief, it's validation. They've proven something that skeptics once said was impossible, that women could not only survive in one of the most demanding environments on Earth, but thrive in it. The truth is, female submariners don't succeed despite the challenges. They succeed because of how they adapt to them, through mental curtains and quiet routines, through informal networks and psychological resilience, through earning respect, one watch at a time, one drill at a time, one mission at a time. The steel tube that was engineered for men has become a proving ground for human capability, regardless of gender. And the retention numbers tell the real story. Women stay longer. They adapt better. They turn an impossible environment into a shared mission of survival and excellence. So the next time you see a submarine cutting through the ocean, remember this. Inside that steel hull, there are sailors who've mastered the art of living in a coffin, who've turned ice cream into therapy and shower signs into respect, who've learned to sleep in shifts, eat on schedules, and create privacy where none exists. And some of those sailors are women who've rewritten what's possible beneath the waves. That's the hidden reality of life as a female submariner. Not just survival, mastery. We are committed to releasing 2 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more Anchor Watch.